Have you guys ever been really hyped for a release and then you maybe bought the fragrance pre-order or bought it the first day it came out? Maybe you even paid to have it overnighted to you because you knew deep in your heart that that fragrance was the fragrance for you. You knew it was going to be awesome. You knew it was going to smell amazing. The birds were going to sing. The flowers were going to bloom. Everybody was going to walk by you and be like, hey man, you smell great. What are you wearing? And then you got the fragrance in. You opened the box up and you looked at that bottle and you were like, oh boy, it's gonna be good. And then you sprayed yourself and you realized you just wasted all that money. Hey friends, Ash here with gentsscents. Guess what? That has happened to me a lot, actually. So today I'm gonna be talking to you guys about 5 different fragrances that I was really hyped for until I got them in and sprayed them on and realized that they suck. So let's jump into this. Let's talk about some fragrances I hate. So this first one is from Hugo Boss. It is in there the scent line and it's Boss the Scent Pure Accord. This line, the scent line, I think is super solid. I love the scent Pure Accord. The scent Absolute is nice. The scent Intense, also very good. There's a lot of solid stuff in there. The scent, the Parfum edition, ooh, great stuff. So when they announced Pure Accord, I got pretty pumped because this would be and is the first fragrance in this line that's mainly for spring and summer use. All the other fragrances are more fall and wintertime fragrances. Sure, you can pull them off sometimes in early spring when it's not too hot, but this is the first one where they specifically said, hey, you've got the scent now for spring and summer. It has ginger, maninka, and white suede. So it has a couple of those notes that you're gonna find across the entire line, the ginger, the maninka, and I was really excited for this one because I thought, man, how are they gonna take that maninka accord that they use in all the fragrances and utilize it for warm weather? Because that accord is a little bit dusty. It's got this exotic kind of fruitiness to it. It's very different than anything else you're gonna smell out there in the designer realm. So, of course, I bought this the second it became available, and then I hated it. It's got this really sweet, effervescent, bubblegummy kind of vibe initially. It smells really feminine. It's not something that I like to smell at all. The white suede doesn't really come out and make much of a difference. The maninka, for the most part, gets swallowed up. It's mainly ginger, but not even the way that I like ginger to smell. So, of course, when I got this in, I was devastated. So the scent, Pure Accord, I hate you. Go away. I never want to see you again. Next up, one from Viktor and Rolf. It's good old Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Toilette. Now this one, I know a lot of you out there were disappointed in. It's not just me. So Spice Bomb Night Vision, this one kind of ushered in a new era of bombs of spice, and not in a good way. Night Vision Eau de Toilette has been panned as kind of slightly Invictus-y style fragrance in the sense that it has that sweetness that Invictus has, and that is played out at this point. Another problem with this fragrance is not enough spice, and the name of the fragrance is Spice Bomb. Spice Bomb. You get it, right? There should be a lot of spice, is what I'm saying. It should be like boom in your face, spices. Instead it's like, no spice for you. Instead have this bubble gum. Have it, take it. Invictus, come to me, Invictus. That is me being a little bit harsh, to be fair. I mean, the fragrance does smell pleasant. It's just, I've smelled stuff like that so many times that when I smell it now, I just have a visceral reaction where I'm like, no, no, no. Next up, Dolce & Gabbana K Eau de Toilette with the terrible king cap and the very plain bottle. This one is really funny because when this was first announced, there were people all over the internet that were like, nah, man, that's a fake bottle. Dolce & Gabbana doesn't have a fragrance named K, and if they did, it wouldn't look like that. Because the initial reaction that a lot of people had was, there's no way. With that cap in this bottle, no. I mean, it's been out for a while now, so people have gotten used to it. But when this was first announced and before it hit any stores, a lot of people were thinking to themselves, no, that's not possible. This one has juniper, citrus, vetiver, and lavender as some of the notes in the fragrance, and this is basically Dolce & Gabbana's take on a blue fragrance. So it's made to be super versatile, people-pleasing, compliment-pulling, all that stuff. And for me, this one has just never worked well. I can't even remotely hold it up against some of the big players in the blue fragrance realm. Your Bleu de Chanel's, your YSL Ys, your Dior Sauvages, your Dylan Blues, all those. This one can't really hold a candle. This just doesn't work all that well off my skin. I know that K has a pretty good following out there. There are some people that swear by this and say, no, spring, summer, daytime, this fragrance is perfect. And if it works really well for you, that's awesome. For me, it does not. There's this sort of green, almost fuzziness to it that doesn't really work that well for me. The Eau de Parfum version of K, in my opinion, big improvement over this one. And actually, for that matter, the Eau de Parfum of Night Vision is a lot better than the Eau de Toilette too. So it's almost like these two houses came out with these fragrances and said, you know, we kind of screwed those. Let's do an Eau de Parfum version and make it better this time. Next up, light blue Italian Zest Pour Homme, yet another Dolce & Gabbana. So 2 Dolce & Gabbanas in a row. My very favorite thing about this fragrance is the font for Italian Zest. That's my favorite thing. That is a sweet font. The first time I saw it, it kind of reminded me of like a salad dressing font. I love it. And actually, I just did a video which was smelling 10 of the worst rated fragrances of all time. This was one of them. Grapefruit, bergamot, Sichuan pepper, and musk are some of the notes in this fragrance, along with a little bit of woodiness. This one was such a letdown because this came after light blue Eau Intense. And that fragrance I actually liked a pretty good amount. And over time, it grew on me more. So I was like, oh man, another light blue flanker. They come out with one every summer. This one hopefully, builds off the success of Eau Intense. Again, I like the salad dressing font. It had a pretty cool kind of art style to the advertising. It really pushed across that whole Italian coast summer feel. So I was looking forward to it. And then what happened is I sprayed it, gave it a smell. Here's the problem with it. The citrus in this is garbage. It is not good. The citrus in Italian Zest comes across so synthetic, so fake that it ends up smelling like a chemical citrus cleaner. Now, there are some people out there that will say, no, no, no. The citrus in Italian Zest is actually bright and lively and realistic. It's not. If you think that that smells super realistic, you have not smelled a realistic smelling citrus fragrance. And I'm not saying that to be mean, I'm not saying that to dunk on anybody, but Italian Zest, that's not what you're looking for. There is no Italian Zest in this bottle. The water is colored like pee for a reason, because this fragrance is not good. And this really kicked off the light blue summer flankers for me being failures, because you had Eau Intense, which is really good, and then you had this, which is really bad, and then Sun, a little bit better than this, and then Love is Love, for me, worse than Sun. So it's like up here, way down here, a little bit better, oh, down again. All right, last fragrance, Wanted Tonic by Azzaro. This one, I paid over retail for. That's part of the reason I hate it so much. I paid, I think after shipping, like $120 for this thing. And I can't even. It's got lime, ginger, and patchouli. Yet another fragrance where they're hitting you with 3 notes. And I feel like nowadays that when I see that, that's a warning. When there's 1 note in the top, 1 in the mid, 1 in the base, I'm like, wait a sec, that's gonna suck. You couldn't be bothered to put more than just 1 note per part of the fragrance's lifespan. How much did you really put into the fragrance? And I know that's reaching a little bit, right? And a lot of this is just the brands wanting to market the fragrance that way because it's easier. They can say, oh, you get a big blast of this, and then you get that, and you get that, and, tie it up with a bow, so neat, so pretty, so easy. But I would rather have some actual notes that give me more of a feeling of what you're going for and how it would dry down. When you just hit me with 1 in the top, 1 in the mid, 1 in the base, from now on, I'm not trusting you. Wanted Tonic is just so generic, so boring. That's the problem with it. It is just unbelievably uninspired. It's like the most generic gym fragrance you've ever smelled in your life. Now, if that's what you're going for, cool, it'll work for you. If you want something that just smells like a really ultra boring, clean citrus with a pop of ginger, there you go. Nothing about this fragrance is memorable. Nobody's ever gonna smell this and be like, oh man, what were you wearing? It smelled amazing. If they can smell it at all, they'll just be like, okay. Or, you smell clean. As if that's the best thing of all time. I mean, I guess it's better than somebody coming up to you and saying, hey, you smell like body odor, sweat, and decay. I'd rather have somebody come up and say, hey, you smell clean, but that's about as best as you can do with this. Hey, you smell a little clean, man. That's gonna do it for me. 5 fragrances I don't like. I was really hyped for these. I paid a lot of money. I mean, between all 5 of these right here, I probably dropped like $700 or something when you factor in shipping and taxes. So, all right, that's it for me. Let me know some fragrances that you were hyped for that you now hate, or hated as soon as you got it in, whatever. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.